Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Krishna. Welcome to Shrimadbhagavatam, Dev Sadan Mandir. We are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 34. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Dojaya Vidiraya
Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu
Nastaprayashu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttima Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike.
Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistiki.
Again we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 34. Narada's instruction on Shrimadbhagavatam. Evam
Evam
Nrinam
Nirnam
Kriya Yoga.
Kriya Yoga.
Evam Nrinam Kriya Yoga.
Evam Nirnam Kriya Yoga.
Sarve
Sarve
Samsriti
Samsriti
Hetavaha.
Hetava.
Sarve Samsriti Hetavaha.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Ta
Ta
Evatma
Evatma
Vinasaya.
Vinasaya.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Kalpante
Kalpante
Kalpitaha
Kalpita
Pare.
Pare
Kalpante Kalpitaha Pare.
Kalpante Kalpitaha Pare
Evam Nrinam Kriya Yogaha.
Evam Nirnam Kriya Yoga.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Kalpante Kalpitaha Pare.
Kalpante Kalpita Pare
Evam Nrinam Kriya Yogaha.
Evam Nirnam Kriya Yoga.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Ta Evatma Nivasaya.
Kalpante Kalpitaha Pare.
Kalpante Kalpita Pare Evam Nirnam Kriya Yoga.
Evam Nrinam Kriya Yogaha.
Sarve Samsriti Hetava.
Sarve Samsriti Hetavaha.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Ta Evatma Vinasaya.
Kalpante Kalpita Pare
Kalpante Kalpita Pare. Word for word. Evam
Evam
thus
Thus
Nrinam
Nirnam
of the human being.
of the human being.
Kriya Yogaha.
Kriya Yoga.
All activities.
All activities.
Sarve
Sarve
everything.
Everything.
Samsriti
Samsriti
material existence.
Material existence.
Hetavaha
Hetava
causes.
Causes.
Te that.
That.
Eva
Eva
certainly.
Certainly.
Atma
Atma
the tree of work.
The tree of work.
Vinasaya
Vinasaya
killing.
Killing.
Kalpante
Kalpante
become competent.
Become competent.
Kalpitaha
Kalpita
dedicated.
Dedicated.
Pare
Pare
unto the transcendence.
Unto the transcendence.
Thus translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Translation. Thus, when all man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Repeat. Thus when
Thus, when
all a man's activities
all a man's activities
are dedicated
are dedicated
to the service of the Lord,
to the service of the Lord,
those very activities
those very activities
which caused
which cause
his perpetual bondage
his perpetual bondage
becomes the
destroyer of the tree of work.
Purport. Fruitive work which has perpetually engaged the living being is compared to a banyan tree in the Bhagavad Gita. For it is certainly very deeply rooted. As long as the propensity for enjoying the fruit of work is there, one has to continue the transmigration of the soul from one body or place to another. According to one's nature of work, the propensity for enjoyment may be turned into desire for serving the mission of the Lord. By doing so, one's activity is changed into karma yoga, or the way by which one can attain spiritual perfection while engaging in the work for which he has a natural tendency. Here the word Atma indicates the categories of all fruitive work. The conclusion is that when the result of all fruitive and other work is dovetailed with the service of the Lord, it will cease to generate further karma and will gradually develop into transcendental devotional service, which will only cut off completely the root of the banyan tree of work, but will also carry the performer to the lotus feet of the Lord. The summary is that one has to first of all seek the association of pure devotees who not only learned in the Vedanta but are self-realized souls and unalloyed devotees of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. In that association, the neophyte devotees must render loving service physically and mentally without reservation. This service attitude will induce the great souls to be more favorable in bestowing their mercy, which injects the neophyte with all the transcendental qualities of the pure devotees. Gradually, this is developed into a strong attachment to hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which makes him able to catch up the constitutional position of the gross and subtle bodies. Beyond them, the knowledge of pure soul and his eternal relation with the Supreme Soul, the personality of the Godhead. After the relation is ascertained by establishment of eternal relation, pure devotional service to the Lord begins, gradually developing into perfect knowledge of the personality of the Godhead. The purview of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma by such Purushottama yoga, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one is made perfect even during the present corporeal existence, and one exhibits all the good qualities of the Lord to the highest percentage. Such is the gradual development by association of pure devotees. Jai. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chachurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Rupa Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sargana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sargana Lalita Shri Visakham Vitamsa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kante Radha Kante Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataru Vyasa Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Pada Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desha तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण। It's a very nice verse, Srila Prabhupada. So I'd like to start the class by paying my obeisance to Lord Shri Krishna. By His mercy, everything is created, preserved, and annihilated. I'd like to pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees, Naranarayan Rishi, and those all the devotees who give us this opportunity for us to go back home, back to Godhead. And I'd like to show my special gratitude to our Sri Vyasadeva, by whose mercy we are able to receive this knowledge of Shrimadbhagavatam, the transcendental knowledge which can liberate us. And special gratitude to our Srila Prabhupada, by whose mercy we are able to receive this Shrimadbhagavatam, Granthara Shrimadbhagavatam in English language. Very grateful, everyone. Thank you for all. So, thus, when all man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become Jai Shri Krishna. Thus, when all man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. I think we heard yesterday from Vikant Prabhu. He was when he was reading, there was a purport by Srila Prabhupada. There, like a expert physician treats his patient with therapeutic diet, like when disease caused by milk, we treat with the curd, right? So in the same way, now here the same activities which were bonding people into this material existence, now we could do same activities, but that same activities could liberate us. And how? And this is all about Krishna consciousness, and this is what he is saying. Now those activities we have to dedicate to the service of the Lord. Now that will liberate us. So now, what is this activities and this liberation? Now this will bring us to the concept of karma, which Srila Prabhupada has given us here in the purport. So what is karma? So, as a human being, or as any life, let's say we are born, then we are undergone through different kinds of activities. In some animals, some animals, the activities are just physical, some have emotional, and some have mental activities. Like humans have a lot of activities going on within themselves. Mental, emotional, and physical activities, all they perform. So all of these constitutes some kind of reactions. This will bring some kind of reactions. And also, human beings have desires, and these desires will also bring reactions, because Krishna, he is also looking for fulfillment of the desires. We had some desire to come into this material existence. Now we hear. And he is also trying to fulfill our desires in the way also we are getting the reactions of the actions what we are doing. So this is what karma is about. So all the actions we do, it in turns create reactions, for sure. So what kind of reactions? It depends. If we do good deeds, we get good kind of reactions. And they say if we do good deeds, we do charities, and let's say we feed orphans and do this and that. So a lot of charity kind of works. These are good deeds. So these good deeds will get us to heaven, nicely planets. And there are like 7 planets above than us, right? So the amount of good deeds we do, the way and the mood we have in the doing the good deeds will take us slowly, take us to the how higher or how better place we can go. But what happens after whatever our good deeds, it's done? Then again, come back to the material world. And this time we are very fortunate, we came as a human. Now we have a conscious choice that we can choose what to do, how to do, what kind of karma we can do, or what kind of karma we don't want to do. Let's say we were animals, no choice. Whatever nature sets upon us, that's all we are doing. That's all we have to do as animals, as a plants. It's a very fortunate that we have it's a big blessing that we have a human body and human consciousness, that we have a choice to take us and to make new karma or to dissolve the karma, or where we want to go, we can set our trail. This is the opportunity what Krishna has provided us. Why he provided us this opportunity? Because we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Because we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna, now he wants us back. We somehow desire to come here. We enjoyed all these lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes. We enjoyed and we suffered and we did all those kind of things. But our eternal position is not here. It's not here. It's with Krishna. But we just starting to forget. Forgetfulness is here. No memory of we are part and parcel of Krishna. Now this forgetfulness leads us here. And we are still going round and round. We say punarapi jaranam punarapi maranam. Again birth, again death. Going back and birth and death, these cycles. And we don't know. We just think, oh, now this is it. This life is it. But this is not it. But we forget because of all the karmas. And what happens if we do bad karma? Go to the patal lokas or narkas. Now what happens? We suffer, and after the suffering is done, again we come back. Then maybe fresh. Then Krishna will give us the forgetfulness for us to forget, right? And we get burned. Now as we burn, as a child, we don't know anything, but we still have the karma. Old karma and old reactions from the past lives. That makes us the prarabdha. What we have to suffer in this lifetime. Suffer or enjoy, whatever. Could be the both. Right? We're not suffering every time. We're suffering maybe sometimes. Most of the time we're just reasonably okay. Right? Whatever we need from Krishna, like we are thirsty. Human body needs water. He's providing the water. We need food, he's providing food. So, he's kind of taken care of us in every aspect. He's made everything possible for us. But why he's doing all of this just for us? Just for us to realize that, we have to go back to him and remember him. And also he has sent all these Vaishnava devotees. Just for us, to remember him and go back to him. He sent all of these Vaishnava devotees. So that's how much Krishna loves us. And now we also have to aspire to go back home, back to Godhead. And this is what Krishna consciousness is all about. So same kind of actions. So now how these actions will bondage us? It's because now what happens? We don't have this memory of Krishna. We are in this forgetfulness. Now we think, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and we started to do things. Let's say we started to have family and go after the career, and career is done. Then what? Let's start from the childhood. We want education, get the education. We want job, get the job. Then now family is there, children all there, little bit more money, house. Now what? Better house, better car, this, that, and soon you realize, oh, I'm about to die. And I don't know all this beyond the life, right? Nothing beyond the life. Then sometimes the old age fear might kick in, because and actually we don't know. All we know is this body. We have the sensation of this body, and whatever we gathered with this body in our mind, that's all we know from the five senses. Now if this is the case, now what happens? The fear will kick in, right? That fear will be, what happens after that? So all these things will occur. So now all these things, all these activities, when we are doing, now these all activities will in turn create some kind of reaction, either good or either bad. But there is a way by which we can do neither of them. Neither create good karma, neither create bad karma, neither create the good reactions, neither create the bad reactions. And that is what this text is talking about. Thus, when all man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord. So when our activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, now that very activities will liberate us. That very activities will become the destroyer of this the cycle of karma. And this is what it will bring us back home, back to Kade. Now, it seems very simple, right? So now how to dedicate the things? Now this is when the process of Krishna consciousness comes very beautifully. This place, and Srila Prabhupada is done very, very wonderful work by establishing all this and giving us opportunity just for us to have this opportunity to get liberated from this cycle of birth and death, to make our activities in such a way that won't create any karmas, and that old karmas will be destroyed. He has created all these things. So what we do here is all our activities we do. We need to fill our belly. We need food, right? We cook for Krishna. Now Krishna, he will take away all the sins. And now the prasadam is here, free of any reactions, no karma, satisfying, right? And not just that, like all the other activities, like we want to have a family, right? We can have a grihastha life, no problem. Put Krishna in the center, right? As per the rules and regulations of the Shastras and scriptures, we can have a family. We can have children as per the rules and regulations of the Shastras. So if we just follow and dedicate all our activities and give the results all for Krishna, very easy, very simple. And this process has been made available for us by Srila Prabhupada. Also, now to get to this point, like every moment or every seconds, actually we are creating karma. Not just the gross activities like we do here and there physically. Because every second our mind is doing its thing, our emotion is doing its own thing, our body is doing its own thing. So in every way our body, mind, emotion, they are always creating karma. So that is when this essence of the instruction by Rupa Goswami, by Srila Prabhupada, it comes into the place that we have to engage all of our senses 24 hours in his service. Now what happens? When all of our senses we try to engage in his service, now there will be, how do you say, no time to create bad reactions or the good reactions. Right? Otherwise, let's say, only for the sometimes some actions, I dedicate for Krishna, some actions I don't dedicate for Krishna. Now what happens? Some actions are liberating, and then again some actions we are just creating this karma, that karma, doing this and that, and those will have to again clear it. So that is when this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra comes into the place. And that is what we are supposed to do continuously 24 hours throughout the day. What happens? Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now this chanting, when it goes back of our mind, we suppose cooking, we suppose washing dishes, we have a lot of things to be engaged. Whatever things we are engaged in, our daily activities, we can continue the same acts, just keeping the chant behind our head. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now what happens? This chanting will liberate us from the reactions, bad reactions and the good reactions. Now this will clear off all our karmas. Now no new karmas will be created. Now what happens to the old karmas? It will also slowly be gone. At the time of initiation, gurus will already be taking all the previous karmas that we might have to suffer from. We don't know how many lifetimes it is due for us to suffer in the future. But all those he will take, all those reactions, and he will just leave us with the prarabdha, this lifetime karma. And now we have to make sure in this lifetime we don't create more karmas that we have to have a new life to fulfill all those, to get the reactions of all those. We have to finish. That is why Srila Prabhupada says, finish this Krishna consciousness business in this lifetime. It's very beautifully said and very beautifully kept by him. And all these processes are there, the temple processes, all these from the morning programs, then to Guru Puja, then the noon Aarti, and 4 o'clock Aarti, and 9 o'clock Aarti. All of these are the means for us to remind us constantly from Krishna. Because our mind, the tendency from lifetimes after lifetimes, it has been trained in a way, forgetting Krishna. And now, what we are trying to do is, we're trying to remind. So this is the blessings of human life, is that we can shape our consciousness in this lifetime, however we want, however exactly we want. So this is the beauty of human life. And this is the greatest blessing, and that is why I think Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned like how fortunate is the human life, right? When the tortoise from the sea, it will come just to take air, and the head will come, and there is a wood with a hole of the same size, and it got stuck. So that is how it is rare that being a human and coming into Krishna consciousness. Now we are already here, listening this very message, going through all this process of Srila Prabhupada in Krishna consciousness, reading Shrimadbhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, and doing all those things. Now we are very, very fortunate. Now we have to take this and try to move forward and think how we can and make a plan how we can always remember Krishna, because mind is always has a tendency of forgetting. So, and how deep rooted the tendency is, because we don't know from how many lifetimes. It might be, could be millions of lifetimes. Now, those kind of training, it has been done. But we should not think, oh, that many lifetimes I was forgetting, so that many lifetimes I might need to remember. No. This is possible in this very lifetime. That is the blessings of being human. And that is the blessings of coming into Krishna consciousness, following the path of Srila Prabhupada, following all the regulations. So, that's all for today. Grantaraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, comments, any realizations, any corrections?
Then you were talking about every action produces a reaction. And then you were saying this chanting will free us from the reactions. But isn't the chanting itself also an action?
Yes.
So how is it that if
Yes,
it's an action, then it doesn't create a reaction?
Yes, that is what it has been telling here. See, thus, when all man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. So, now, what is this chanting of the holy name? This is the action dedicated to Krishna. Right? And how Srila Prabhupada says, when we are chanting, Krishna himself comes in our lips. This is how fortunate we are. So now he himself is coming. So now this is why this activity is dedicated to him. Now this does not create the reaction, because this is action. This action will actually it says the destroyer of the tree of work. This action will become the destroyer of all those karmas, and all those karmas we have created in this lifetime or before. So this action of chanting will actually be the destroyer.
So it does cause.
Yes, it does cause a reaction, but it causes a reaction of clearing all the reactions.
Yeah. Destroying. Yeah.
Yes, destroying all those reactions. Hope that answers. Thank you, Prabhu. Grantaraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.